You see this? 1.2 million people gone. Not tourists, not snowbirds, Californians. Packing up, leaving, never coming back. And you know what the governor says about it?
Newsom always brags about where his GDP is. Look at us. We're the fourth or the fifth biggest economy in the world. The reason why we make so much revenues, that could be true.
Cool story, Gavin. Fourth biggest economy in the world. Congratulations. But if it's so great here, why are 1.2 million people leaving?
California lose nearly 700,000 people the last 3-4 years. And on top of that, 352 businesses left California, 11 of them in the Fortune 1000, 61 of the businesses over 100 employees.
700,000 in 3 years, 352 businesses, 11 Fortune 1000 companies. But sure, brag about your GDP.
Last 5 years, we've lost 1.2 million people.
What's up, everybody? Ramin here, Real Talk. Let's talk about why everyone's leaving California and why the politicians don't want you to know. 1.2 million. Let that sink in. That's the entire population of San Jose just gone. And here's what they don't tell you. It's not who you think.
So 70% of the adjusted gross income of those leaving the state is being made by people making over $200,000 in AGI. That's why our state is in a fiscal mess.
70% of the people leaving make over $200,000 a year. Those aren't people who can hack it. These are doctors, engineers, business owners, people who can live anywhere. And they're choosing not here. Why? Well, let me give you a hint.
If you're just trying to get by, and of course, you're the middle class, right? Why are you going? How could you afford or want to spend $5,000 a month in rent in Los Angeles, right? And not even like in a great place in Los Angeles, when you can move to Texas and Houston and Dallas and literally pay $2,000 a month for the same place. It doesn't make sense.
$5,000 a month rent in Los Angeles, $2,000 in Houston. Same apartment, half the price. No state income tax. You don't need a PhD to do that math. So where are they going?
Texas took Rogan. Texas took Musk. Texas took Toyota. Florida took a bunch of them. Tennessee took a bunch of them. No problem.
Florida, Tennessee, Nevada. Florida took a bunch of them. Tennessee took a bunch of them. And it's not just regular people. Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Patrick Bet-David, Ben Shapiro, Dana White, Gene Simmons from Kiss, Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, Adam Carolla, and those are just the famous ones. 1.2 million people did the same thing. They just didn't make the news. Now, the governor wants to tell you everything's just fine.
So Newsom, as a CEO, has destroyed that state the last few years purely based on data.
If California was a company and Newsom was a CEO, well, he'd have been fired a long time ago. 700,000 customers gone, 352 businesses relocated, revenue dropping, ranked 50th for business. Any board of directors would show him the door, but this is California, so he gets to keep going. We call it failing upwards. You know what other states are doing? Iowa, well, they're cutting taxes.
The only state whose job growth was less than California over the last year, only one state was lower, Iowa. And what is Iowa doing? They are reducing its state income tax. They recognize there's a problem.
They saw the problem. They're fixing it. California, we're going to raise your taxes on a $70 billion deficit. Make it make sense. I talked to a farmer, family dairy in the Central Valley. You guys all know I come from Turlock. 50 years in California. She said she was paying $2,500 a month just for health insurance. Taxes, permits, regulations, every year something new. She moved to Texas, 50 years, and she's gone. And she's not alone.
Micah? That's right, Rochelle, Lena. In that report, 9 California cities are listed as the top 20 places people are moving from. And while Bakersfield is considered one of the more affordable cities in the state, it has also made the list.
9 California cities in the top 20 for outbound moves. 9. Fresno, Bakersfield, Los Angeles, San Francisco, all bleeding residents. And you know what the politicians say? Climate change. Yeah, cost of living, housing prices, excuses. I talked to a guy who owns a property in Los Angeles. The city wants him to build more housing, higher density, more units. Great, right? But they make it so hard, so expensive, so regulated. 2 years of permits, endless red tape. He said, forget it. It's simply not worth it. That's California. We say we want more housing, then we make it impossible to build. And here's what really gets me. Sacramento thinks you're stuck. They think that you're not going to leave. They think you don't have the guts. Newsom is betting that you're too scared to move.
And California is so arrogant about it that they don't think anyone's going to do anything because they don't believe you have the guts and the courage to leave. They think they have you locked in and you're afraid to leave. That's what they think about you, California. They don't think you have the courage to leave.
That you'll just simply take it year after year, tax after tax, regulation after regulation. He's betting you don't do anything about it.
If you don't recognize a problem and just come up with nonsense and say it's not happening, like the emperor with no clothes, which is basically what's happening, then we are not going to develop the strategies that will reverse this negative trend.
And here's the problem. If you don't admit there's a problem, well, you'll never fix it. In Sacramento, they won't even study cutting taxes.
No Democrat would even look at doing a study, let alone actually doing what's necessary, and that is to reduce taxes.
Not cut taxes, not propose a bill, just study whether cutting taxes might help. No one will touch it because admitting there's a problem means admitting that they've caused it. So what do? Well, if you're staying, get involved. Vote. Make noise. Door knock. And if you're thinking about leaving, well, do your research. Spend the next few weekends visiting Texas, Florida, Tennessee, Nevada, Arizona. See what fits.
I would spend the next 4 weekends going to a different state each weekend. Go to Texas, go to Tennessee, Nashville, go to Florida, go to Nevada, go to these different markets next 8 weekends, next 6 weekends.
Because here's the truth. Bad policies, well, they have consequences. And 1.2 million people already figured that out. Look, I'm not telling you to leave. I love California. I've been here my whole life. But I'm also not going to lie to you. The numbers don't lie. The U-Hauls don't lie. The IRS data doesn't lie. This is Real Talk. Now, if this video helped you see what's really happening, hit that subscribe button. I'm posting every single day, breaking down the stuff that actually affects your life. Please drop a comment. Are you staying or are you going? I really want to hear your story. I'm Ramin. This is Real Talk, and I'm out.